Greg,
Howdy.
so where are we at?
World famous Sunset Beach Water Tower. This was built in 1892
Uh-huh.
because there was a railroad that went from Santa Barbara to San Diego. It was designed solely to put water into steam engines
Okay.
so the train could get to San Diego. They only made it 10, 20 miles per fill-up.
Really?
So there were about 20 to 40 of these between San Diego and Santa Barbara.
Oh, wow.
So that worked out fine until early 1940, 41.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing was totally termite eaten and beat up and about ready to fall down. But they still needed it, so they rebuilt it.
Okay.
When they rebuilt it, they used redwood, ostensibly because that's more termite resistant. They did keep all the metal, so anything metal is from 1892, but the wood is from 1942. The last date I could find by talking to neighbors and old-timers here, it was probably used sometime in the mid to late 1950s as a true water tower, and then nothing.
Yeah.
Sat here.
So this was an actual water tower.
Yes.
Like, this is not built to look
Right.
cool like a water tower.
No, this was
really one.
the actual water
Yeah,
tower.
that's so
where we're
cool.
going to be. You'd be underwater if
Yeah.
they hadn't built a house here. So from late 1950s until 1980, it deteriorated. But Huntington Beach actually owned this. I don't know how that happened. They got an estimate to repair it. It was so high, they actually gave it for free to the city of Seal Beach. They had it ready to tear down. These were being destroyed by the cities where they were. There's water towers for cities, but the ones built for trains are all long gone.
Right, yeah.
Two surfers who lived right next door over here heard they were going to demolish the tower.
Okay.
It's actually a demolition date set. So they get a little movement going here in Sunset Beach, Save Our Tower.
Yeah.
I've seen there's T-shirts, Save Our Tower, bumper stickers, Save Our Tower,
Right.
picket lines in front, Save Our Tower.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So enter a gentleman named George Armstrong. George Armstrong was a kind of an unusual guy. He was a math teacher at Long Beach City College, but he was an avid skier, and one of his ski partners was an anesthesiologist at Long Beach Memorial Hospital. So he had the money. George Armstrong had the brains.
Okay.
I should say brains, had the cojones, I should say. And they paired up, and they said, we want to save the water tower, but these kids are right. So they went to the city of Seal Beach and said, we want to say, and they said no, and they got lawyers, and finally, after bugging them for a few months, they said, okay, fine. We're going to sell you the water tower. I think he paid $48,000. And so they said, you got a bigger job ahead of you now. You've got to go to the Coastal Commission. So his entourage go up to Sacramento, meet once, meet twice, maybe 3 times, I don't know. Architects, historians, and they say, we want to save the water tower. Matter of fact, I want to make a beach house out of it.
Was that his plan from the beginning, do you think?
Somewhere while he was trying to save it, I think he said it'd make a great beach house.
Yeah, heck yeah.
So they first said no, and he fought, had lawyers threatening. And after 2, 3, 4 visits, they said, okay, you can make a beach house there, fine. One condition, we have to approve the plans that it better look like a water tower. So he said, sure. So he comes back, well, his son is a general contractor. So he calls his son and says, I want you to build a house inside the water tower. Son said, oh, God. But like a month or two later, he comes back, like, Dad, I got an idea. We unscrew the water tower from the stilts. We'll put it down on the empty lot next door. I'll build your house on the ground. Then we'll get cranes and we'll put it back up on the stilts.
Okay. Just for like ease of access?
Yeah, he could build.
crews and
He
stuff?
could. He said when he first said no. He said, Dad, liability and workers have to go up with belts and you can't build a house up at it's 88 feet high.
Yeah.
And he said, I'll build it like a normal beach house. We'll put it back up.
So how much of that, I guess, that they had craned was like the original water tower?
I've heard debates about that.
Yeah.
One person said they just took all the old wood and built new wood. And I said, that's not what I heard. I think it was 50-50. He only owned it for a year or two.
Oh, really?
He and Dr. O actually didn't like each other. 1992, they sold it to the fire captain of Pasadena, a guy named Jerry Wallace. Very gregarious, popular guy here. Everybody loved him. He'd come out in the street and say, party! The neighbors would all go up on top there. He held it till 2016 when a gentleman named Scott, who was purely an investor, he never once stayed here. He just wanted to Airbnb it.
Okay.
And I guess he wasn't quite getting the rentals he had projected, so he put it for sale and then I bought it. So that's
okay.
So we will go in here. It's 5 levels,
5 levels.
28 square feet,
Okay.
87 feet tall.
Wow.
He was in the Guinness Book of World Records for quite a while as the tallest single-family residence in the country.
Oh, cool.
And some jerk in Phoenix built a single-family residence 88 feet tall. So,
What? 1 foot taller?
yeah, so if you know anybody with a long antenna,
Wow.
so in these are 2-car garages. This garage has all the toys.
Nice.
It's got surfboards and boogie boards and chairs and bikes. So
Cool.
we are Airbnb this a lot, so
Yeah.
the guests can use those for free.
Yeah.
Allegedly, I did very little design work, pretty much since how I bought it.
Okay.
Somewhere with those owners, they did some decorating and make it unique. So they allegedly found all these tools as they built it.
Uh-huh.
The daughter came out and said, no, that's just fake. Some designer thought I looked cool. But they didn't find any tools here. So because this was a water tower, they built a water feature.
Okay. Sure.
This is either the maid's room, teenager room, mother-in-law room, whatever you want to call it. 4 bedrooms. This is one of the 4.
Okay.
So this looks like a normal everyday bookcase, and you wouldn't think anything by looking at it.
Right.
But if you put your fingers the right spot, it turns into a secret room. There's a bed because
Oh my
kids
gosh.
love to sleep here at night.
Oh, that is so cool.
Where the elevator guts are is where the pump used to be. That's the ensuite bathroom.
Oh, bathroom. Okay.
It's called the barrel and burlap room
Huh.
because they wanted to commemorate the fact that the trains, solids went in burlap bags and liquids went in barrels. The first 3 levels are accessible by elevator,
Okay.
and then the last 2 we have to walk.
Okay.
Okay, let's step out in this stand here, like right there. This is an open air deck.
Wow.
Really, the reason to rent this or buy it, partially is the history, partially is steps from the sand, but really the views. So this goes around in a full circle. Now we'll go to the living area. Each floor is about 750 square feet.
Okay.
What's interesting for the architect is they're all round.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they had to kind of do some creative
Figure some stuff out.
things because it's not square.
Yeah.
Right? So there's the half bath. This is the bedroom. It's bunks for teenagers and whatever.
Okay.
It's a pirate theme.
Beach.
So this is the living room.
Very cool. This is incredible.
When I bought it, all the furniture came with it. To furnish it, they had to hire a crane to take everything from the driveway where you walked
Oh, yeah.
up to here. And then the kitchen is, for a small space, pretty efficient. My youngest son is a chef, and he's cooked some huge dinners here
Nice.
in this. So I kind of like cutting my onions or washing the dishes and just looking out at this. It's unfortunate, a little foggy today, but you get the idea on the views.
Oh, look at this train up here.
Yeah, I should tell you about that. So they put that up in 1984 to commemorate that this was here to feed the trains. So it actually works.
Look at that.
Actually goes around.
Man, how fun.
That's a lot of little things like that.
Yeah, right.
So this has a wraparound deck out here. When the weather allows, which is half the year, my wife and I have dinner out here, just sit and look at the sand.
Yeah, so this deck wraps around too, huh? 360.
I like standing here with a glass of wine because I can see the ocean, but I look over here and I see the harbor.
Yeah.
So you kind of get both. So that's the skyline of Long Beach. Mm-hmm. The kind of the land you see off there is Palos Verdes. Catalina, most days you can see it, but right now it's cloudy. But Catalina's straight out that way. Like last night, I just kind of curled up and watched TV, and I kept the door open. It's cold, you can't do that. But even with the door closed, you hear the waves. With the door open, you hear the waves. It's great. So when Greg was designing this for his dad, his partner was Ardell, and they were kind of fighting.
Yeah.
Who gets the master bedroom? So anyway, the son, Greg, said, okay, I got it off. I'll take care of it. Mm-hmm. So he put in 2 master bedrooms.
There you go.
Side by side. So now we have winding stairways the rest of the way up.
Cool.
This is something Greg did. He wanted something to be different, so he did the winding stairways. So this is kind of a cool feature. That looks like nothing. That could be the door of the bathroom. It would take two of us to do it, but you could unhook this.
Uh-huh.
The white is stationary, so the
Okay.
toilet would stay where it is, but the wood is on rollers.
Wow.
So you can unhook it, push that, and this door goes over there.
Interesting.
So that if you're having a party,
Uh-huh.
I gotta pee. Well, go through the bedroom. You don't want to say that. So
Right.
instead, the door could be in the hallway.
That's so,
But you can
that's
see,
so unique and thoughtful.
But they did a great job on the windows, I think. But they all open quite a ways.
Awesome.
So at night, you can open the window if it's not too cold, and you hear the waves as you try to sleep.
Yeah.
And then this bathroom's the shower's kind of cool. You and 10 of your closest friends can shower together every morning.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Huge, huh? It's that
Wow.
rain shower effect.
Yeah.
This is the bedroom I prefer. We slept here last night, so it may be kind of messy. It's called the whitewash room. That's what I call it anyway. It's a more traditional full bath here, shower and all that.
Right.
When you wake up, you sit up and you see this.
Yeah.
So I put my computer usually here, and I open this, and I just enjoy the wind and the view. And when I bought it, there were no drapes. On my to-do list was to put window coverings.
Right.
But the sun east is over here.
Oh, okay.
So the sun never once has gotten in your eyes.
Wow. Amazing.
So it gets light, but it
Wow.
so
They're really thoughtful in how they designed this, huh?
yep. So when I first looked at it, I walked up these stairs. I don't cuss. Italian Catholic. I got to the top stair and I blurted out, "I'm effing buying this house," but I didn't say effing.
Oh my gosh. Wow. This is incredible.
All the windows open.
Yeah.
I call it the rotunda. So all the parties happen here. On Sundays when it's not rented in the season, my son will have his buddies over and they watch 4 games on the 4 TVs. Wet bar, microwave, buffet there, drinks there.
Yeah.
In the summer, I tend just to open all the windows as best I can. I like the sound of the breeze and looking it over.
Yeah.
So the owner that was the fire chief, ironically, had a fire pit up there. And he pushed a button and the fire pit would come down and they could sit around the fire pit.
No
In
way.
the winter, they'd open for the...
Wow.
Then, apparently, he got rid of that and he put a dining room table up there. So he pushed the button, the dining room table would come here.
Oh my gosh.
And you pull up a chair, they could have big meals here. But today, it's just,
Seating
But
in
they
the middle.
did put a true compass here. It was to tell people that
Oh.
in Orange County, people don't realize it, that our beaches are not west. So if I said to you, what direction's the ocean? You'd say, well, it's west. The ocean's west.
Right.
But actually, because of the curve in Santa Barbara, our beaches are south facing. So I'll end with one story about that propeller. So in 1941 to 1942, they put the U.S. Navy across the street. So in mid-1942, military intelligence had a report that the Japanese were going to bomb America. Their sources told them they're going to try to take out our munitions there. So they're going to fly across the Pacific, go just over the water tower, and start bombing all over there.
Jeez.
And they said they'll probably use the water tower as a landmark. So for about 2 months, Air Force planes circled the water tower
Really?
and the beach area and that area to intercept any Japanese planes coming.
Yeah.
Sometime in the fall, they said, false rumor, not true. Never mind, forget it. They stopped. And December 6th, I think it was Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
So they had the right information, just the wrong
I
area.
see. Okay. Wow. Good.
So anyway, to commemorate that story,
Uh-huh.
they put a prop up there to commemorate the
okay.
propeller plates. That's why that.
Does that spin up there?
Oh yeah, there's a button.
Yeah.
It's like a ceiling fan.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very cool. Man. Well, thank you so much, Greg, for showing us around. It amazing place.